Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul Channel, and I do have a new topic today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I thank who've inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. We'll have links below this video to their channels, or their sites, I should say. They also have, some of them have YouTube channels. They are Rabbi Shalom Arish, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Alona Nava, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rabbi Daniel Asur, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, Rabbi Michael Skobek, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Ashir, and Yaron Reuven. As well, if you've never checked out my channel before, I will have a link right below this video as well to the first video that explains what M.L.M stands for, what it means, and what I'm doing. So today is actually part 4 of what I call Shmirat HaLashon, guarding your speech. And I was reading from a very nice pamphlet from the Chofetz Chaim Heritage Foundation, and now I'm continuing with that with this other amazing booklet. I don't know what it's called, but what I will do is I'll have a link right below this to some phone numbers where you can contact them. I'm not sure what this little brochure, might just be this. Okay, actually this brochure, I will have there is a phone number to call to get this actual brochure that I'll be reading from, which is just so amazingly powerful. And it has 2 sides to read from, and it says you should treat this brochure with respect because there is Torah literature in here. That's very nice. I didn't know that. So there's 2 sides to this. I'm going to start with one side that does not look as alive and beautiful. It says here, it devastates your Torah learning, it closes the gates of tefillah, and it invites heavenly persecution. I should say prosecution. So it doesn't look that pretty. It looks kind of dim and dismal. So, but there is also the good side to it. So I'm going to start reading from here. So the first one, it says, Loshon Hara, locking out life. Our mitzvos, chesed, and Torah learning are the crowning achievements of our days. We pour our mental capacities into understanding the Torah's depths and devote ourselves, heart and soul, to fulfilling Hashem will in all that we do. For this we are promised a heavenly account filled with merit. And yet all the blessings of life in this world and in the world to come could be shriveling in our hands if words of Loshon Hara on our lips. Now, if you're not aware of that Loshon Hara, it surpasses the 3 sins that you're not supposed to do. Yaharov al Yavar, you should be killed. Gilu Arosh v'Chasdam and Avodah Zarah. If you do Loshon Hara, it's even above that. It's even worse. So, underpinning all our learning, mitzvahs, and daily pursuits are our tefillos, through which we hope to receive the divine assistance so vital to our success. We therefore come to Hashem every day as supplicants, praying for all that we need for ourselves, our families, and communities. But this too may be fruitless effort if our mouths are also occupied with Loshon Hara. All that a Jew seeks in his life, all that he works for, is locked away, out of reach, if his record is stained with the injury, quarrels, and pain he has caused with his words. So that's very important to be aware of that. So it says here, a lifetime of Torah learning lost. One whose mouth is always open will not find a single Gemara remaining to protect him. In Hebrew it's Mis Sofav Patuach Tamid Lo Yimatzei Afilu Gemara Achat Shetagein Alech or something. Okay, so I'm going to read the passages in Hebrew and then explain them underneath here. It's all explained here. I'm just reading what it says because I think it's so vital and crucial. And like I said, this is going to be going on for quite a few more days because there's a lot of information to share with you. So in Hebrew, Lama davar domel echad shekana mechavaro shas shalem umechorach ba'or yafeh uveli riya bifnim shesamach kevan shelamala huna v'shalem ba'ado v'hamocher nasa l'zarko v'hi kasher l'kol v'eito ra'a she'kol hashas haya mitushtash מאוד מפני חלב ושומן שנשפך עליו, אפילו מסכת אחת לא מצא כהוגן, וכמה התמרמר על נפשו, איך נתפתה לדברי המוכר ששפכו בפניו, ולא פתחו בעצמו לראות מה שקנה. So picture this, now it's explaining it. A man purchases an exquisite leather-bound shas from a traveling bookseller. He buys it without even bothering to first look inside because the outside is so attractive. He pays the bookseller and goes on his way. When he returns home, he opens the shas and it's hard for him to discover that the print throughout the set is terribly unclear, having been stained by fat and grease. Not even one tract is the way it should be. How he agonizes over his naivete. How could he let himself be duped by the bookseller who sang its praises? Why didn't he open himself to see what he was buying? So now here's another passage from Shmiras HaLashon, book, volume 2, chapter 26. Kein hu hadavar hazeh, misha piv patuach tamid ve'ino ma'pid al atzmo afilu im yomad kol shisha sidrei mishnah v'chol hashas kama pa'amim k'sheyavo lamala lo yimtza afilu gmar achat shetagein alav ki kol achat nimshach aleha ruach hatum'ah u'ma'us lihistakel aleha. So that's the little passage I read that was on the side of this page too. So what does it mean? This is the same scenario that's waiting in the world to come. A person can complete all 6 orders of the Mishnah as well as the entire Talmud and do so many times over. But if his mouth is always open and he does not restrain himself from speaking about others, he will not find a single Gemara remaining to protect him. Each and every one will be contaminated by a spirit of Tumah and will be repulsive to behold. So look at that. Lose everything. In this instant, it's just unbelievable. I'm going to go on to the next one, and I don't want to make this too long, so I might just do one more and then continue the next time. So this is called squandering your Torah. And then it says here on the side, through the Loshon Hara one speaks, one loses the little Torah one has. B'divrei Loshon Hara u'chila shehu medaber hu ma'abed et ma'at Torah sheyesh b'yado. That's kind of on the side, and I'm going to repeat it again. So, bo u're'ei od kama gadol onesh ha'avon hamar hazeh shedivrei Loshon Hara u'chila shehu medaber hu ma'abed et ma'at Torah sheyesh b'yado. Shezeh Lashon hamidrash shocher tov u'mizmar from Koheles. Al titein et picha lechati et b'sarecha miladeber b'Loshon Hara b'chulei. Lama yitzof ha'elokim al kolecha al oto ha'kol she'otzeta v'ficha v'amarta Loshon Hara al chaverecha v'chibel ma'aseh yadecha ma'at Torah sheyesh b'cha atam ma'abda. So take a look at how far the punishment for this bitter sin extends. Through the Loshon Hara Mechilush one speaks, one loses the little Torah one has. In the words of Midrash Shocher Tov from Tehillim, chapter 52, let not your mouth bring guilt on your flesh. Why should Hashem be angered by your voice and destroy your handiwork? So that's Koheles. Let not your mouth bring guilt on your flesh by speaking Loshon Hara. Why should Hashem be angered by your voice? That's by the voice that passed through your mouth when you disparage your fellow. And finally, and destroy your handiwork, for you will lose the little Torah you have to your credit. And then continuing on from Shmiras HaLashon Sha'ar HaZechira, chapter 7, Ufashut dechavanat hamidrash hu kamo shekatvu hasfarim hakadoshim shemi shemedaber Loshon Hara al chavero hu gorem shenotlin imenu zechu yotav she'asa aratav v'notnin lechavero. Unquestionably, this midrash intends to convey the idea found in the Sfarim HaKadoshim. If one speaks Loshon Hara, he causes any merits he may have earned until that point to be stripped from him and given instead to the person against whom he spoke. Wow, that's pretty strong. That's unbelievable. So, continuing, this is still the same idea here. So, protect my tongue from evil, otherwise a person's Torah is considered worthless. Mitzar Lashon Chamera, Da'ela, let's see, where is that from here? I'm trying to find it. Da'ila lav hachi ein haTorah nachshevet lechlum. So this is also from Shmiras HaLashon. V'zehu she'anu omrim b'sof tfilatenu el kain etzar l'shonim hara v'achar kach anu mevakshim patach libi b'toratecha Da'ilav hachi ein Torah nachshevet lechlum. At the end of Shemona Esrei we pray, my Lord, protect my tongue from evil, my lips from speaking deceit. We then continue, open my heart with your Torah. These two requests flow naturally from one another. One's Torah maintains its value when one guards his tongue. Otherwise, the Torah is considered worthless. We therefore first pray that we may merit to speak properly, and only then do we ask Hashem for the zchus to study His holy Torah. His Torah, meaning Hashem, is cherished in the eyes of Hashem. Ki Torah, or the person's Torah, I should say. Chaviva ma'od b'nei Hashem. So this is also from Shmiras HaLashon. Al kein hachacham einav b'rosho b'eit shematchil lehit chakem b'Torah makayem ma she'amar hakatuv from Mishlei. Reishit chachma kenei chachma tzarich lekayem. Reishit chachma yiras Hashem from Tehillim. V'az ashrei v'tov lo b'zeh u'va ki torato chaviva ma'od b'nei Hashem yitbarach she'ein aleha dofi. So after discussing the loss of one's Torah learning in M.L.M. because of careless speaking, the Chofetz Chaim concludes, A wise man is characterized by his foresight. Therefore, when he begins to become proficient in his studies, and thus fulfills the verse from Mishlei, the beginning of wisdom is to acquire wisdom, he must also fulfill the verse from Tehillim. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of Hashem, in order to preserve the sublime nature of what he learns. He then will be praiseworthy both in this world and in the world to come. His Torah is cherished in the eyes of Hashem, since it will contain no shortcomings. So that's pretty powerful stuff. So I think I'm going to stop here. There is more. Probably going to have a few more, and then we're going to go to the positive side, what you do when you're guarding your speech. But first I wanted to bring this out because I think it's important for people to recognize, like, wow, unbelievable what can happen. Just an instant of, like, forgetting that how it can affect you forever, and it doesn't go away. So we have to be really careful about what we say to others, also even what we think. And I think that that's so important, that we recognize that and that we take the lessons from here, learn them, and apply them. And in that merit, I hope that we will all live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days, and the rebuilding of our final everlasting Beis Hamikdash. Amen. And thanks for watching.